it'll be in their heads, in their minds, but also when you call on our officers to help, we know exactly what's needed.
I think this is going to be a coordinated discussion with Juan and the county as well.
Yes. So I'm going to move out of the way, and everybody who doesn't know, but I doubt that's any of you, this is Brent Marshall, the Monterey District Superintendent.
Now you're going to see a massive loss of sand, and depending on how you feel about ice plant, which is obviously an invasive and non-native plant, but it does an amazing job of stabilizing the dunes. And the fact that we lost so much ice plant, so much dune, and so much sand material to the Scenic Road is a real testament to how big those waves were. Had we not reached to the south earlier, we would have had none of that, because the scour, instead of to the south, would have scoured to the north. We would have already been in a very vulnerable position. There's no doubt in my mind we would have lost much more. I was going to turn over to John Hiles real quick, and if you wouldn't mind talking about what Patrick identified and some of the work with Public Works. John Hiles is the area manager for the Carmel Area State Parks.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for being here. It was quite an event, as Brent mentioned. We're looking at cleanup here of the parking lot. This is something that, once we have equipment operators out here, we'll get this cleaned up. We're holding off on, you're still seeing large surge coming into this area. So, and to add this on to all other impacts that we've seen throughout the district. So we'll get this cleaned up. Fortunately, our bathroom wasn't damaged. But once we'll have a chance to walk around the cove here on Scenic Road, and that's where you start seeing the loss of the bank and the undermining of Scenic Road and the utilities that run under the road.
So time is of the essence. We would like to start as soon as possible, because as you can see when we walk the site, the project, the area continues to deteriorate. The damage grows basically daily. Every week we come over here, it's getting bigger and bigger. So for us, we would like to start as soon as possible. And right now is the time, because if I start now, I can build the job from the top, from the street, build soil. We're trying to do a soil nail wall. Soil nail wall is a wall that when it gets done, is structurally based, and the base, it will be the color of the sun. So it's a rough finish, look like sand finish, to try to blend with the landscape. If I start as soon as possible, I can build it from the top. If the road collapses, I gotta build it from the bottom, which I don't want to. I don't want to put equipment over there in the sun. Minimize the amount of equipment on the sun. So today I can go from the top and build it. Also, if I don't get on ASAP, we may lose the water line, the electrical, all that. As you can see, the sewer line is exposed right now. We cut, the sewer line is cut, there is no light sewer, but it can come down a little bit. They're all fine. So time is of the essence. Regarding the job, we can do it, but I just need help from everybody here to help me with the permits and regulations. Right? We are public works, we can deal with the work, the scheduling, the equipment, the materials, and so on. But I need help with all permits. I don't know how many agencies are involved in this project. I assume a lot. I just need to say, I just get going. Just get it done.
Measures and debris removals. We spent the last 2 days trying to qualify the county for permanent work, which is what we're talking about here. So my understanding is that we'll find out sometime next week whether or not we're eligible for that permanent work. So any support from you guys to encourage those additional C through G categories would be amazing. And then the limitation that he's talking about is for categories A and B, you have like 6 to 8 months to actually complete the work. But for permanent work, you only have, I think, 18 months to complete the work. And with the amount of permitting for this area, we're going to be hard pressed to hit that deadline, which means we might not be able to be reimbursed for it after the fact if the project goes longer due to bureaucratic holdups with permitting. And so that is a critical component for us to be able to do the work effectively and efficiently.
And I can tell you, Jimmy Panetta and I did a town hall meeting in the Santa Cruz Mountains Thursday night with 200 people. And there are people that have not been reimbursed from the fire 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're sort of going after FEMA in the meeting for, like you said, this is going to be easy. And so for whole other reasons, we might be on that. And I think Jimmy, in the parts that are his, is really alert to it.
That's fantastic. And then my third comment is generally about the Stafford Act. So it really only encourages repair to its original existing condition. It doesn't talk about betterments. Betterments are not encouraged with FEMA public assistance, which is very contrary to the concept of resilience and mitigating disaster impacts for future events. So the more we can do up front when we're recovering to mitigate future impacts, that would be a policy reform at the federal level.
Well, I was telling Jimmy, I had the misfortune of being on the Santa Cruz City Council during the earthquake, and FEMA said we will only replace to the level prior.
Exactly.
We discovered we had redwood pipes under the city, and they said, oh, we will only come back to redwood pipes. And it took our Congressman then, Leon Panetta, pounding them to allow us to come back with real pipes.
On the California Coastal Commission telling us that there was nothing we could do to this site because it was not part of the regulations to do some kind of protection on scenic roads. So I don't know, that was several years ago.
Yes. Yeah. Here's the
That's the sewer line over there.
Yes.
As you see it.
Yes.
And the road is collapsing. As you see it, that's the dike. That was the edge of the road. Those are the pieces.
That's the edge of the road right there.
Yeah, that's the edge of the road right there. Right now we can allow anybody.
Get equipment, right now I just...
No, but I mean, the scour is going to destroy the base of anything you put up there if it's not deep enough and engineered properly.
No, but I did say it's not going to be engineered properly. It's that today I don't have the information to let
But
you
that's
know
a
what's
critical,
Yeah.
you know, if it's too shallow, it's not going to last.
No, but right now, like I said, once we get a piece of equipment and clear this up, I'll find out. Right now it's too premature.
Well, the tiebacks work in sand.
Yes.
30 feet?
I don't know, yeah, maybe 30, 35. I don't, we're trying to calculate that as we
Yeah,
speak.
you got to be careful to miss your pipes.
Oh, that's what I got to pass all every single line, find out exactly what the depth of each pinning. We may have to go like this on an angle, on the tiebacks.
Well, yeah.
So we don't hit the line right on the spot.
What about putting down pilings?
We do those here. On the bottom, we put like this. Type pins, micro piles, and put the footing on top of the micro piles, and from then the wall starts.
But you won't put piles down from the top.
No. On the bottom, this is the bottom, we put the pins like this on the floor. And put a footing like that on top. And then the piles, this one will go like that.
So how many tiebacks? One row or several?
No, many.
So the whole slope is going to be covered with tiebacks.
I'd say right now we'll say one at least every 5 feet. Will be every 5 feet like that. 5 feet this way and 5 feet vertical and 5 feet horizontal. That bad. Many.
One picture right
Yes.
here.
I mean, I'm fine, but it was like, whoa.
Kind of like when you go on a trip and
Good seeing you again, huh? Thanks again. All right, take care. This is we're in an emergency. It's hard to say that today, but we've lost enough infrastructure.
Hopefully, I hope the county takes full advantage of it.
We plan to.
Do as much as you can.
We're doing 2 or 3 projects that we've been talking about for 4 years in Big Sur River. We're doing them this year, so that was nice. And then this is the next one. And you know, I've always said, although I said yeah, we have to stop talking about the EPB because that's something that state parks can't sign on. But if you could improve this access point and allow people to have this maintained, we would be able to harden the area, provide access for the other folks, and then in part of this public access improvement includes the mid-slope wall going around. And that's very gray area for parks, but I was able to get that buy-off a few years ago. You know, I get they've done the assessment, but the county is not willing to take out the EPB. The reality is there is FEMA money, and there is stuff.
Why don't you put the EPB on the property? You don't care about that, do you?
The EPB? Yeah, that was brought up and denied. I don't know. You don't remember that? Like 2 or 3 years ago. I said we'd remain silent. If you took the EPB off of that, there is a visual impact and some other things that parks would traditionally comment on. I said, but yeah, if you guys do it in this case, the compromise for parks, we're not going to put an EPB on our property, nor could we, but we would remain silent. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know how far that went. You know, the cheapest thing to do would be to elevate the 12 houses out of the floodplain and to improve it. The mid-slope wall or the full?
EPB on the property line. It's pretty cheap.
So what's the hang up on that? Why was it?
The homeowners.
Oh
You know, a couple of them threatened to sue.
Well,
and you know what? It's so simple.
All I can do is.
It's what everybody does all over the world. This is the only
I was
place
pretty
I know.
surprised to hear the discussion, you know, with the president here. Everybody's going, oh yeah, we'll see if that's maintained. I'm going to remember that and remind people of that conversation, you know, a few months from now.
Right.
So where do you
And
live?
so,
I live in Monterey.
Okay,
and so,
No.
when they,
how long?